So I am late to the party with this one, but boy am I glad to have made it at all. Legend of Vox Machina is fantastic fun. An adult animated fantasy series adapted from live D&D campaigns from a group called Critical Role, which brings to the table immense heart, humour and heroism. I've never played Dungeons & Dragons myself as I was more into Warhammer 40k, but I did devour the Dragonlance books and World of Warcraft as a kid, so I greatly appreciate a ragtag band of misfits raiding tombs, visiting holy temples and battling ancient dragons. There are half-elf rangers, woodland mages, steampunk humans, priestly and rather horny music-loving gnomes, brutish giants, a friendly bear, and innumerable side characters all with wicked wit. Legend of Vox Machina captures the fun of entering a fantasy realm with all your friends and getting up to mischief better than any show I can think of, and is the perfect antidote to the modern habit of TV creators hating on their audience. The team clearly love what they're doing and want to entertain everyone with outrageous comedy and traditional fantasy adventure. There is literally zero attempt to insult you for loving this stuff or subvert your expectations by rejecting virtue in favor of grim nihilism. So what the heck happens in the Legend of Vox Machina? Well, the series arc involves three key threads stretched out over 3 seasons thus far. The first is a mission to rescue the city of Whitestone from the evil Briar Woods, a couple made up of a vampire and a necromancer. The second involves a battle for the entire continent against the Chroma Conclave, a union of dragons who seek to plunder and destroy everything on their journey towards godhood. And the third involves our heroes assembling disparate vestiges of the gods, ancient and powerful artifacts, in what is building towards a world-ending showdown against evil incarnate. There's a host of characters, so I won't bore you with a long list describing each one, but what I will say is there's something for everyone. If you like your heroes dark and brooding, analytical and snotty, gregarious and foolhardy, or violent and naive, then you're bound to find someone to root for. My favourite part of the show is the gorgeous animation. While it's in a traditional Western style that has zero by way of indelible images, it is suffuse with motion and colour. I loathe when an animated show cops out and mostly portrays a static image with the camera moving over it, but that is hardly the case here. We see wind ruffle cloaks, snow or rainfall hit our characters, sunlight moves slowly across the face. There's a great deal of effort which has gone into making everything alive. The other big plus is some gorgeous fight choreography. We have a band of mercenaries with different abilities, and so the show can at once portray traditional brawling before it moves to the mystical or pivots into gunplay. When characters work together, especially from season 2 onwards when I think the budget increased, you get some breathtaking action scenes that mix every fighting style together, and I find it thoroughly captivating. Finally, we have a very enjoyable story, which is rare in 2024. Legend of Vox Machina is pure fantasy fun, and as I mentioned, there's zero shame in the world they want to create. Undead hordes, portals to evil realms, bawdy ballads in filthy taverns, long hikes across scenic landscapes. Everything you imagine a fantasy setting would have is on display here. Now this is a double-edged sword though, as the show can start to repeat itself. Most characters end up possessed, have a tragic backstory where they come from a position of authority but have lost everything, go on a redemption arc where they reunite with family and friends to save those they love, and so forth. As you can tell, it's quintessential fantasy stuff, but it does become a little tedious when it's repeated with each character. Furthermore, as much as I'm enjoying Legend of Vox Machina, and I do recommend you check it out, when the show is full of age-old fantasy adventures, you do sit back and nod along while being fully aware of how the story ends. Do the heroes uncover an ancient relic which makes them stronger? Of course they do. Do the heroes fall in love with one another on the journey? Well, of course they do. Do the heroes have near-death experiences which turn out fine because of mystical intervention? Of course they do. This isn't necessarily bad, it's a package deal with a fantasy narrative, but it does ruin some of the suspense when you can see how everything is going to end. Secondly, this is an adult fantasy story, so there's swearing and sex jokes and so on, and the cursing does come across as a little trite. Now, I have no issue with naughty words or ribald humour, just go watch some of my previous videos. What I do have an issue with is an overuse of those tools to the point that they lose their effectiveness. After the 100th holy shit or what the fuck, you do start to wonder if they are just adding swear words in to appear edgy. Nevertheless, these are minor quibbles because Legend of Vox Machina clears the bar. It has all the traditional world building, character arcs, and setups and payoffs which are required for one to say they've done a good job. The opening 2 episodes of Season 1 are textbook storytelling, where every character is introduced and given a minor arc. A big bad is set up for the whole series, and the season's villains are introduced with aplomb. A mini-adventure bonds our team together and sets them up on the path of the hero's journey. It's really good stuff. If you ever needed a guide on how to start a fantasy or sci-fi series, or really any television show at all, then Legend of Vox Machina would work brilliantly. The first 2 episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer are also great for this, just as an FYI. So I'm excited to keep watching Legend of Vox Machina and am chomping at the bit for new episodes to be released. Good job, Critical Role. Good job, Amazon Prime. I can't believe I'm saying that. Thanks for watching.
And I'm an even bigger one!
Ready? No, but do it anyway! I'm ready to die for the people I love.
We have to believe it's going to be all right.